After almost 70 years, the Las Vegas Strip is losing yet another legendary property, and this time it's to make room for a baseball stadium. Hundreds of thousands of people have stayed here, and we're gonna be some of the last ones before it gets destroyed. We are doing a review and a goodbye of a Las Vegas legend, the Tropicana. Let's go. So I think the cops right here are on their way to remove this guy from the bridge. This is the first time I ever see this law in action.
Okay, why you taking my phone? Yeah, I'll go down to the terminal there. It's cool.
I don't know, the guy didn't ask for money. He was just literally standing there, so who knows what was the reason. But it's the first time I ever see this law in action. All right, guys, we made it here to our room. We are in a Resort King room in the Club Tower. The price for this room was $59 for tonight, plus resort fees and taxes, which equal to about $108. Mind you, this is a Sunday, but it's a pretty average price that you can find throughout the week. Now, I do have one question, is why the heck am I being charged $37 for resort fees? I mean, the short answer is because it's Vegas, and that is because this place is pretty much closed down already. The pool isn't working, a lot of the amenities are off, a lot of the restaurants are being closed down. So my question is, why? Let's do a quick room tour of one of the most basic rooms here at the Tropicana. All right, so this is the first thing you see when you walk in. To the left, you are gonna have a closet with very long old school mirrors. Here to the right, you are gonna have the restroom. A lot of yellow lighting, yellow walls, yellow pretty much everything. You do have a bathtub here, although quite small. I'd rather just take a shower. Obviously, the toilet and the restroom, which you can't really open the door all the way. Pretty standard here. You have your king bed, and the two lamps here on the side actually have a bamboo look, which is sort of the theme that they follow here at the Tropicana. They don't mess around here at the Tropicana and their entertainment system. They have an iHome. I haven't seen anything that fits here in such a long time. We are rocking with a very outdated TV, so you can see. It's not that big, and it's also not that modern. Right in here, you are gonna have your safe and a couple of drawers here, nothing special. They did provide me with 2 waters, quite nice at the Tropicana. I already drank one. I actually like how spacious this table and chairs are here if you wanna get some work done. And obviously we have the watcher chair. The Tropicana opened back on April 4th, 1957, making this property just shy of 67 years old. It's owned by Bally's Corporation, and it sits on 35 acres of land. It's closing in a couple of weeks on April 2nd. I wish they closed on April 4th. That would make it sort of memorable to close on the same day that you open. Between the two towers, you are gonna have 1,400 rooms here with a casino floor of 44,500 square feet. Just to put things into perspective, places here on the strip have a casino floor of anywhere between 80,000 all the way up to like 120, 150,000. So this casino floor is quite small. As far as entertainment goes, you did have a couple of options, but the last show actually happened on March 1st for the MJ Live and the Purple Rain, which is the Prince show. However, the Laugh Factory remains open, so that's where you can find some stand-up comedians, Rich Little, and Murray the Magician. A quick fun fact is that when they first built the Tropicana back in 1957, it cost $15 million to build. You can't even buy a parking lot here on the strip for that price. Then around 20 years later in 1970, that's when they started seeing a lot of struggles competing against the mega resorts that were being built, like the MGM Grand and others. So that's when they started the renovations, and they built both of the towers, one in which I'm staying right now. So the question remains, will the Tropicana be imploded? And I think yes, and I also hope that it is. I've never seen an actual building come down like that, and I feel like it'll be a pretty historic memory. So now let's talk about this stadium. Obviously, the Tropicana hasn't been doing good for the past decade or so, so it was a great candidate for this space. Now, in 2023, Bally's Corporation reached an agreement with the Oakland A's, and the plans are to build this stadium here in 9 out of the 35 acres. With the remaining space, Bally's Corporation plans to build a resort here to accommodate for the tourism that's going to be generated by the baseball stadium. The stadium is projected to cost $1.5 billion, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit more than that. The stadium capacity is set to be 33,000 seats, which would make it, I think, the lowest capacity of any Major League Baseball teams, and I guarantee you they're gonna be the most expensive ones as well. And don't get that excited because it's set to open on 2028 if everything goes through. And now some of you guys may be wondering, what the heck is happening with the employees here? And yes, the Tropicana employs 700 people that are part of the Culinary Union. The Culinary Union and Bally's Corporation came into an agreement that every single employee that will get furloughed is gonna get $2,000 for every year that they have worked here at the company. So that means that a lot of people here have worked here for 20, 30 years. So you're gonna see payouts of $40,000 to $60,000. That's pretty good. Hopefully that kicks off a nice retirement for a few people, and those who are a bit younger can probably hop to another property, which is no problem because there's a ton of properties that are opening up here in Vegas. All right, so this is the way towards the pool. The pool is currently closed right now. And it looks like this whole area right here hasn't been well maintained, but in general, this place is an absolute ghost town. I am the only human here. Okay, making our way to the Havana room, which I believe is sort of like a conference room. And this place is empty. There is nothing here, barely any furniture, just a big empty space. So I just got told I can't use my camera here at all in general. They don't allow live streaming, they don't allow any professional cameras, and I guess this one's deemed as professional, so the rest of the video is gonna be with my phone. All right, I just made it back to my room, and at some point I was told to put my camera away, my professional camera away, and that I wasn't allowed to record with that. I said, okay, I understand, sometimes it happens. I put my camera away and then I pulled out my phone. I was recording the poker room. They have a nice setup here, a whole studio. That looks pretty cool. And then I was yelled at again, this time a little bit more aggressive. I think they thought because I was going against what they said. But the first guy told me I was able to record with my phone, just not with the professional camera. I thought I was following the rules. I guess I wasn't. And they were being a little aggressive and hostile. They cited that it's a law that goes against the Gaming Control Board, and that you're not allowed to record at any property on the Strip, at which point I almost pulled out my YouTube video and I told them, whoa, yeah, I guess I've been breaking the law for the past 5 years. It did take a lot of power of will to not say, this is why the Tropicana is closing. So I had to be a little respectful there and just make my way back into the room. Although I did have eyes on me on the way back, I just felt like I was being monitored. It felt kind of disgusting. But anyway, before I was told not to record, I made my way through pretty much the entire property. I made it down to the pool level and the casino, and I got a really weird feeling of emptiness and nostalgia. There was a couple of leaks throughout property. The building in and of itself looked like it was cracked in some places. The paint was coming off. Honestly, the Tropicana just hasn't been well maintained overall. I feel like it's going to be a good transition for Las Vegas to have the MLB Stadium instead of the Tropicana, because it just wasn't a centerpiece. It wasn't like a tourist attraction. There was nothing really about the Tropicana in and of itself to pull people in. Honestly, this kind of sucks. I bought some tickets downstairs for the Laugh Factory, and I can obviously record in there because it's a comedy show, and I can record outside. The room is very old, the carpet is old, the employees were obviously a little uptight. I asked someone what time did the Lavanza coffee shop open or close, and the guy didn't even talk to me. He like looked at me and kept walking. Before the video ends, I want to give a shout out to Love Cow here. It's a local clothing brand that sent me this shirt, and they also have a cool back. Let me show you. So this, destroy all demons, a super cool slogan. It's a Las Vegas clothing brand, so make sure to go hit them up. They do all these shirts by hand. So there you guys have it. This was more of a news update for the Tropicana. I pretty much wasted an entire room visit here. But if you like this video or found it helpful whatsoever, do me a favor and give this video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and comment down below any questions, comments, or concerns, or a good or bad memory that you have here at the Tropicana. I certainly have one already. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next time. Peace out. Made my way to Robert Irvine's, and these wings, they're fire, so can't hate on that.